What's going on, family? We're going to get back into making stuff a little more organized. You know what I mean? I know I've been a little scattered with this podcast or whatever, just showing things that's actually happening to me. And I wanted to do it that way on this channel at first, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to start getting back into some more, you know what I'm saying, real podcasts, you know what I'm saying? And today we want to definitely just talk about some adjustments that need to be made as targeted individuals, you know what I'm saying? Today we talking about something heavy, but we're going to handle it with truth, calm, and power. This episode is for anybody who feel targeted, whether it mean harassment, stalking, hacking, intimidation, smear campaigns, you know what I'm saying? I go through it all, man. I'm telling you. But I don't know the smear campaigns too much. I just know that it gotta be happening for people to be acting this crazy. And we're gonna say this up front. I'm not here to argue about your experience. I'm here to help you survive it, to stabilize it, and adjust in the way that protects your mind, spirit, and your future. Because the game isn't always about what's happening, it's about what it turns you into, man. So you must be mindful of what it's turning you into, man. You know what I'm saying? 24/7, you gotta be mindful with it. So today, emotional traps, spiritual traps, and adjustments that stop the bleeding. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to dive into. Most people think the power move is expose everything. You know what I'm saying? Myself, you know what I mean? I had to sit back and start analyzing and stop always just responding. It gets you caught up in this loop where you just, reacting instead of responding strategically. Most people think, you know what I'm saying, that's the way to go, but it's not. When someone is under pressure, real pressure, the nervous system start living in emergency mode, man. It really do. Sleep gets weak, attention gets scattered, relationships break. You start reacting instead of moving with strategy. You stop. You ain't moving. You ain't responding strategically. You react. You know what I'm saying? And that becomes a big problem. And that is exactly how people lose years, man. Time is the most important thing you lose. It ain't necessarily just the money, man. It's the time that they take out of. Like, I be looking like, y'all see how long it be taking me just to log into some accounts and stuff like that. And then I get gaslit about, the time that, fuck being disabled. Forget this happening to you, just the time, you know what I'm saying? So you lose a lot of time, man. That is the most valuable thing. So adjustments means you take your life back in small, consistent wins, you know what I'm saying? Celebrate them wins, every win, you know what I'm saying? You stop feeding the chaos. You stop feeding it, man. You build proof, structure, and support, you know what I'm saying? Build real proof, not just a bunch of traffic campaigns, man. I was just deleting a bunch of I should have showed y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even though I might still, I'm pretty sure I got backup of that backup, but you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. But you stop eating that bull crap, you know what I mean? And build real proof and structure and support or whatever. Them traffic campaigns it ain't gonna be showing too much and nothing. Except for us targeting individuals. We know that ain't bullshit. We know what you showing. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't who you trying to prove this to. You know what I'm saying? We know you become harder to manipulate emotionally and spiritually. You know what I'm saying? So that's important. You know what I'm saying? If you easy to manipulate emotionally, and they gonna do it. They gonna use your family. They gonna use anybody close to you that they can basically corner and trap and or get to work on them, get to sell you out. You know what I'm saying? They gonna use them if you got love for them to emotionally try to manipulate you, man. Like, they will make your significant other cheat on you. They will do everything. They're going to try to emotionally manipulate you anyway. Whether it's even your children. You know what I'm saying? They're going to try to get to you any way they possibly can. I see a lot of targeted female children being taken from them and stuff like this. You're going to have to be able to have peace of mind. If you want to get your children back, you're going to have peace of mind, son. You know what I'm saying? They leverage and females' children over them constantly. My little sister, they constantly messing with her and her children and her significant other, using them all against her. But this is something that they do a lot to us, man. This has been going on. I was studying and I was being warned about this happening from the beginning. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be mad, man, and thank the targeted community for, sharing what they go through. I know some of it, you might be, kind of ashamed. Don't be ashamed, man. This is them doing it to themselves, not you. This is them. You know what I'm saying? Expose it. You know what I mean? It helped a lot, man. It helped me a lot for sure. So, emotional trap, isolation, feeling like nobody understands. Isolation feels like protection, but it also is how people get broken. When you have no grounded people around you, fear grows unchecked. You spiral, you start trusting the loudest voices online and you lose real life stability. Man, I shut everything off, even targeting individuals, man. Sometimes I be like, nope, I do want to check out this story and I will check it out at a different time, but today ain't the day. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta know when to shut it down and cut it off or whatever. And like me, I enjoy isolation. I be in here having a whole ball with myself. And I always been like this. They didn't really isolate me. I did it to myself, to be completely honest. They furthered my isolation though, and I had to pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? They've been taking too much time from me and my children and, my family and stuff like that. But and in regards like that, they did, and just making me feel like I can't trust people, even though it wasn't physical isolation. Mentally, I was isolating myself in certain ways that I had to check. You know what I'm saying? Even though it didn't really show on the outside to be too different, to be completely honest. Mentally, it was things that I had to check, and I still check constantly. Like, oh, these they just made me feel this way from hacking me or something like this. Let me go back and open that because I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just assumed, and I'm thinking of like hacking ways, like because it goes in those ways as well. A lot of ways, from these people hacking me so much. I isolated myself from doing certain stuff, like not using Wi-Fi at all, not using Bluetooth at all, or not, not you're turning prime example, y'all, what I'm doing today, like in recently, not using the internet on my computer at all. Like, hold up, son, I can utilize this thing, you know what I'm saying? But just from them scaring me, from hacking me out of fucking a lot of accounts that I paid a lot of money for, they isolated me. And I had to, make them, adjustment. Like I showed y'all, I've been showing y'all with taking certain stuff down. I did have to put it back up, but they isolated me, man, in different ways. I'm like, man, I don't want to live like this. Why am I living? Why would I let them force me? But no, the predators is some of my passwords. You know what I'm saying? So I do be having to cover up. It just is what it is. But yeah, that isolation is not good, man. So you do have to be mindful of how, they have you positioned and the choices that you're making. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna make a part 2 on it. And maybe a part 3 because we ain't even get through the podcast and telling y'all, but I ain't forcing it. Like I said, taking my time, we balancing things and putting things in perspective. We ain't in a rush. We don't even supposed to be doing these scumbags jobs. It's really these scumbags. We don't supposed to be even having to prove nothing. We don't have to be supposed to be psychiatrists. We don't supposed to have to be activists, lawyers, and stuff. But as targeting the IT people, all of this, we don't have to do this, man. But we have been neglected, and yeah, we're gonna have to do it. It just is what it is. Somebody gonna have to do it. You know what I mean? But until later, I'm Raphael Rashid. And this is the True I Speak podcast. I'll catch y'all later.